a birthday setting, you once met Mr. Molefe.
Yeah, but not conversation. It was just an issue of greetings, and then I sit. By the way, people will tell you, when I arrive at a place, I greet everybody, even if it's not my own thing, because I'm warm like that to people.
The reason for this live, let me come straight to the point, is I got a call from the TP Kenny Kunene yesterday. As you remember, when I was in Namibia. And I got a call from him to say, I need to speak to you about something that happened. I said, I can't speak now. Can I call you back? He said, yeah, sure. So I called him back. I said, what happened? He said, no, he first said to me, remember I told you about this thing I'm following up on, some story. I said, yeah, you didn't tell me the story. You just told me that there's something big that you're following up. Excuse me. He says, yeah, I went there, and then he was supposed to meet somebody, and the person said, no, let's meet at this house. And they sent him a location pin. And they sent him a location pin of the house that they were supposed to have met, where they would meet. He said it's his first time at the house. He's never been to the house. And that's why they had to send him a location pin. And he came there. Was this journalist boy. When they got there, he says they were just sitting. He doesn't know this guy. He knows the other guy that sent him the location pin. He doesn't know this guy, the owner of the house. And they sat down. As they sat down, the cops came through the thing, and they said, everybody on the floor, and whatever. He said, yeah, he went on the floor, like everybody on the floor. He knows he has done nothing wrong. So he went on the floor, and then one of the cops says, hey, Kenny Kunene, it's you. What you doing here? He says, no, I came to talk to these people here. I came with that. They said, do you know this guy? Kenny says, no, I don't know this guy. They said to him, you don't know this guy. What you doing in his house? He said, no, I don't know the guy. They said, but you're at his house. How did you get here if you don't know him? He said, no, this guy, and he's pointing to the other guy, sent me location pin to this guy. I don't know this guy. If you ever spoken to the guy? He says, I've never spoken to this guy. They said, can we take your phone? He says, yeah, fine, you can take my phone. I got nothing to hide. So they take his phone, they check. They then came back and they said, hey, Kenny, we're so sorry. Here's your phone. You can leave. You can leave. They gave him his phone, they checked, and he left. He never hid it from me. He told me, this is what happened. I asked, who else did you tell? He says, no, I just told her, you and our friends, what happened? I said, is it? Sure. I said, yeah, this thing, we must prepare because it's going to leak out anyway. This morning, I think he called, he spoke a little bit again, he's telling me. And then I was in cabinet today and in plenary. And so we had a private conversation this morning, which I'm going to share here. A conversation where we disagreed on a matter. And when I just saw like everybody's talking about it, this thing is everywhere. This thing is everywhere. And I want to come and talk about this. So the thing is everywhere. People say Kenny's involved and whatever. Now, I only have 3 parts to the story tonight. This is the first part. I told you the first part. The second part is what I'm going to tell you who that guy. The newspapers asked me, do you believe Kenny Kunene's story? I said, of course. Of course I believe his story. I knew I told Kenny a while ago to say the media hates us, he must, because when he got involved in politics, in positions of the state, he had one of the best online companies. I said to him, we must use this company again. He says he can't. He already gave it to some young people. He promised them. And I said, as long as they bring PA stories, because we don't want to talk to the media. So I knew already that he's given it to young people. I know that. He told me, when I asked him, listen, I said, I want to buy newspapers. I want to buy a newspaper because we don't get a fair shake. The day get all the... He said to me, he says, hey, it's going to be, I can't do that because I've given my word. Right. That's the first point. So to all the media that asked me, do you believe what Kenny said? 100%. I do. I believe him 100%. 100%. I know this man. Let me tell you who's Kenny Kunene. People think Kenny is my friend. Kenny is not my friend. Kenny was my friend. Kenny has gone past being a friend. He became the brother I never had. I grew up not having a brother. And you know how you know somebody's your brother and he irritates the living daylights out of you sometimes. And Kenny has been the one person that made me change my life in jail. Kenny has been the constant in my life. Kenny is the godfather of my children. I'm the godfather of his children. I don't even hang out with Kenny. He's a socialite. I am not. He's a socialite. I'm not. Kenny will still DJ. I'm hopeless in the club. I don't go out much. My going out is when I go to a restaurant or just hanging with my friends at my house. Like when we watched Springboks the other day, my friends came to watch. And Kenny has been the one guy that inspired me in jail to change my life. I know Kenny, and I tell you now, Kenny will never get involved with murderers. That's not him. Why would he want to get involved with people that... Now, when me and him differs, he doesn't believe he was set up. I do. He doesn't believe it. He says, no, I wasn't set up. I think he was set up. By who? I don't know yet. I just know this thing smells like a setup, but I've got no proof of that. He doesn't think that. He says, no, I don't think so, or whatever. Because Kenny is a people's person. Like he's got a trusting nature about him. Now, a murder is a serious thing. This guy, I've forgotten now what his name is, the one that was arrested. I'm glad he got arrested. They must come and arrest all of them, because I heard that gun killed like 10 people. I'm glad they arrested him. And he's not the only one. They must still come and arrest all the others. Because we're a country that has a problem of killings. I know how much love Kenny had for this DJs, all the DJs, whether it's somebody or whatever. He knew all of them. If you put a DJ here, I wouldn't even know who he is. I'm just showing you. So, Kenny doesn't believe he was framed, or not framed, he was set up. Now I'm saying to you, that man is a good man, Kenny Kunene. Kenny will not hurt a fly. Kenny has found himself in something that he doesn't understand at the moment. I spoke to him 10 minutes. I was supposed to speak to him for half an hour. We spoke for an hour, and that's why I was late for the live. Because he doesn't understand what's really happening here. But I want to say to people, I can't come here and tell you Kenny's got nothing to do with this thing. I can't come here and lie and say Kenny's got nothing to do with this thing if I knew the truth. But I'm telling you what the truth is. The truth is that Kenny's got nothing to do with this. Kenny is not a violent person. Never been violent. I was the violent one day in jail. Kenny will always be the peacemaker. He's so trusting of people. So, I asked myself, if this was any other PA member that is here on the news and the party's name is being mentioned, and now I know Kenny. I know he's innocent. I know he's not guilty of all these things I read on the comment sections of people. But I ask myself as the leader, if this wasn't Kenny, what would I have done? Would I have, if I didn't know the person, would I have, like I know Kenny, would I have defended the person? No, I would not have defended the person. So as the leader, I'm going to subject Kenny to the same things I would subject any one of you and myself. These allegations of people must be tested. It's not enough that I, as his brother, know that he's innocent.
A birthday setting, you once met Mr. Molefe.
Yeah, but not conversation. It was just an issue of greetings, and then I sit. By the way, people will tell you, when I arrive at a place, I greet everybody, even if it's not my own thing, because I'm warm like that to people.
And in a group of advocates and lawyers to investigate this matter. I'm going to give them 30 days to investigate this matter, and then their report I will share with you. I believe Kenny is innocent, but that's not enough. Murder is a serious thing. This is a serious allegation that goes around by the Democratic Alliance, by all the parties. So I don't want PA to be the party where we put things under the carpet. Even if we know, even if I know So I'm saying to you, Kenny Kunene will be investigated, and I'm going to tell you who's going to investigate him, lawyers of good character. And while he's being investigated, I'm going to remove him from being an MMC. I'm going to write to them. I'm also going to tell him to stand back from politics for 1 month until the investigation is done. That's the hardest thing I ever had to do in my life. It's the hardest thing. To act against Kenny Kunene. Yeah, it's the hardest thing I ever had to do.
Life of an artist, bad shot spices, glorifying drugs as a stage fright cure. You can try this just when you're about to grab your chance of staging. Excitement, you can't think out this industry, or should I say this killer dream, cause you will swear that from the start it was designed to kill artists. Bangakulwela when days are bright, unguthembekile. As a human being on Instagram, too much pressure, unrealistic expectations. Whoever said that he's the perfect is with us, uthembekile. Singiza uthembekile. Remedies within us, ezihwemba sibhebhekile.